Okay, let's dive right in. We're breaking down a really powerful 90-day strategy designed for a total life transformation. Look, this isn't about making a few small tweaks here and there. This is a hardcore, disciplined, and strategic plan for building real wealth and power by completely changing the way you operate.
So this whole thing kicks off with a pretty stark warning, and it's summed up by the stories of two different men. The first guy worked 60-hour weeks for 30 years, followed all the rules, did everything he was told, and died with $17 to his name. The second guy, he worked smarter for a fraction of the time and built a 7-figure business in 18 months. The only difference between them was their core strategy. That's it.
And this leads us to the crucial point, this one principle that feels, well, completely backward at first. The path to real power and wealth isn't about adding more to your plate, more tasks, more skills, more connections. Nope, it's about ruthlessly removing what's holding you back. All right, so let's get into phase 1, the first 30 days. This phase isn't about building anything new. It's all about surgical removal. You're clearing the decks to make space for what actually matters. Because let's be real, you can't build a skyscraper on a foundation of quicksand and clutter. The whole strategy is built on the 80-20 rule, but I want you to think of it less as a rule and more like a law of physics. It's just how the universe works. You see, most of us think being busy means being productive. This law says the opposite is true. A whopping 80% of what you do every single day is just motion. It's not progress, it's waste. And this visual, man, it just drives the point home, doesn't it? That giant 80% slice of the pie isn't just neutral. It's not just inefficient. According to this philosophy, it is actively poisoning your potential. It's eating up your finite time, energy, and focus that should be going toward that critical 20%. So here's your mission for phase 1. You have to identify and completely, totally remove the 3 biggest parasites on your time and energy. We're talking about those draining relationships that are like anchors holding you in place, those mindless habits that are just a form of self-sabotage, and all those unfinished projects. They're just monuments to your indecision, collecting dust. And this quote just perfectly captures the mindset you need. You do not negotiate with these drains. You don't try to manage them or schedule them. You eliminate them. You have to be as ruthless as a surgeon cutting out a tumor, because that's exactly what these distractions are to your future.
Okay, so once you've cleared out all that junk, the next 30 days are about forging a weapon. This isn't about being a jack of all trades, master of none. Forget that. This is about mastering one single dangerous skill that makes you undeniable, irreplaceable.
Just think about it. The market doesn't reward you for being kind of good at a lot of things. It rewards monopoly. It rewards people who are so ridiculously good at one thing that the world has no choice but to pay attention. Being mediocre at 10 things just makes you a commodity. Being a master of one makes you a force. So your job here is to choose one of these 3 fundamental, timeless levers of creating wealth. And I mean choose one. Don't dabble in all 3. Pick one and then become completely obsessed with it. Study it, practice it, break down how the masters do it until it becomes second nature to you. And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. You have a choice. You can be a commodity, easy to replace, always having your price pushed down by competition. Or you can become a dangerous expert, someone so valuable, so irreplaceable that you get to dictate the terms. The world literally reorganizes itself around people like that. All right, let's move to the final phase, day 61 to 90. This is where you step into the arena. You've cleared the clutter, you've forged your weapon, now you have to make it visible to the world. Because honestly, an incredible skill that nobody knows you have, it's strategically worthless. The critical shift you have to make here is from labor to leverage. Labor is just trading your hours for dollars. It's what most people do, and it puts a hard ceiling on your income because you only have so many hours in a day, right? Leverage is about creating systems and assets that generate value for you even when you're not actively working. So here's the absolute key, and you've got to get this. You can't build leverage without first building proof. Trust is the currency of everything, and you build that trust through a consistent public body of work that demonstrates your expertise. You have to show people you can deliver the goods, not just tell them. This chart perfectly illustrates the strategy in action. Stop chasing 100 clients who pay you $1,000 each. That just creates insane complexity and leads to burnout. Instead, you focus, laser focus, on solving an expensive, painful problem for just a handful of high-value clients. The revenue is the same, but the focus, the impact, they're worlds apart.
And this is the million-dollar question you have to answer to make this phase work. Stop trying to help everyone. You need to get hyper-specific. Identify a really expensive problem that's costing a very specific type of person a lot of money, time, or stress. And then position yourself as the only logical solution. So, after these 90 days of subtraction, mastery, and stepping into the arena, what's the ultimate takeaway? What is the fundamental truth that this entire process is built on?
This is the final hard truth of the whole strategy. Wealth isn't a reward for being a good person or even for working the hardest. It's an effect. It flows, kind of like gravity, to the people who have created the strongest, most disciplined structure to attract it. And by structure, we mean your ability to create order out of chaos. It's about building disciplined systems in your life and work that generate value predictably, over and over again. When you remove the waste and focus your energy with this kind of precision, you create the very conditions that make wealth flow to you almost naturally. And so this whole thing really just leaves you with a choice. The next 90 days are going to pass no matter what you do. The clock is ticking. The only question is, will you come out on the other side of them stronger, wealthier, and more dangerous? Or will you just be 90 days older, stuck with the same problems and the same excuses? The choice was always yours to make.